Hey, look at these jewels. Anyway, we're here in Artisan of Glimmith again, and I just finished this town area, so we're ready to move on. Just double checking, yeah, we got everything here. And we're gonna see what is in this area. Which one should we take first? I'll tell you what, let's start down in this corner since I'm already kind of in it. What were we learning in this one? This was the Precsiion corner. So let's take that. Let's see what we got. Considering the game is gonna let us find hidden puzzles with ease, I don't think I need to do too much searching. Alright, let's jump in. We're doing puzzles, really not much else to say. All regions must have an area of exactly 16. Delta. It looks like, okay, we're gonna have 32, so we're gonna have 2 regions. I see. Alright, so the regions here, we're gonna have one on that side, and we're gonna have one on that side, is really what it's gonna be. And I'm going to assume this is the same region, but it might not be. And then here, this case, it's going to be this one. So could I set this up here? That's too many. That's 16, so I think the rest of this is just going to be fine. There's the same shape! Okay, how would I do this differently? Maybe it is intended to put this in here, and then the red can come around. No. Then it would have to be red. Both of these, it's too much. So no, it's not, oh. So okay, if it is that though, it's just that they're different shapes. Okay. Let's take it from the top. Let's see what happens if we, instead of trying to do what I was doing before, we just build it one piece at a time. This piece will, yeah, this piece is going to have to extend out that way. This piece will extend out here. Now, is there a way? This will never come around this side. There's no way to bring it around. Because then, so for sure, red is going to come down through there. Now, if I had the cyan piece go here, we would need the red to get on the other side. That's impossible. So red is going to take that for sure. Cyan can't get around to this side because he'll cut red off, so that is red. Guaranteed. Alright. Now what if I brought that down instead of doing what I did before, and now I bring this through. And maybe now it'll be fine? That's going to be too many. So I feel like, oops, I feel like this is going to have to go here. So how would I cut into it? Oops. If I cut into here, that's fine. All right, that's it. All regions must have an area of exactly 13. Why are the regions so big? 4, 8, and then 3 by 6 is 18. So 2 regions of 13, and they have to be the exact same shape. Okay. So if I start a region out this direction, what is the shape I can make here? These two have to be different colors. Would I make them this way different colors? Like coming around this side? I don't think this is going to work at all. It's just not the same shape. Don't ask me to rotate shapes in my head. What if it comes around this side? which case we'd have this going on. But then I think it would be that shape here. I think this is fine. Because then we can... Oh dear, no. No, this is... No, this would be how it is, how it's shaped. How do I work on this? Maybe if it's like symmetrical around here, then it would have to be a shape there, and then this would have to cut through. So maybe I'm thinking, maybe I think of it with the mirror shape. This shape is going to be mirrored over here. And since it extends, this extends out as well, but we have to block it because it's blocked here. Which means it can't be on this side of the wall, which means this has to be yellow. But this yellow, is it going to come up? No, because it can't be on this side of the wall, which means this is going to be yellow. So yellow is going to have to extend down this way. Blue is going to have to extend up this way. Again. Is this possible? I think this is possible. We can do this. And then that means the yellow has to extend up that, and the blue has to do that, which is going to force... This should be the shape? Yeah, okay, that's the shape. How'd this one? That's a 3? That's not that bad. Oh dear, all regions must have an area of exactly 4. Well, this is forced. So we're just doing tetrominoes. I have to have a T shape here. There's a couple ways I can do it. That's one of them. This is another one. This is not acceptable because we have the delta shape there. So what can go in these corners? I can put an I shape in here without too much issue. There has to be a T shape here. The T shape here might actually solve it for us. Because if I bring the T shape down, I'm forced to do that. We can't have that happen. So it has to move to the right. And so now if it moves down again, we have an orphaned domino. We can't have that happen. So we do have to make the T shape here and the I shape. The I shape can't move up because now those aren't the same shape. So this is set. I need a T shape here, but I can't have a T shape there. So if this T shape moves rightward, it's going to cause a problem. It's going to have to move up and then this way. So that means we have an L shape there. This can't be a T shape, but it could be another L shape. This has to be T. And it can't go that way again. It can't move up because now we have an orphan cell. So it does have to move this way. So now we have ourselves an S shape. All right, what goes in here? What goes here? It could be an I shape. Don't know. Oh, this could be an L shape, though. Dang. This has to be a T shape. So it's either that or this. Well, that's not going to happen. So here's your shape there. This could be L or S. Not entirely sure here. So it's these are guaranteed. We know this can't be T, but that's all we know. No, this can't be T. This can't be T. Where do I look next? This spot? Well, yeah, I guess if we have an S shape here, it's not going to work. We just have another L shape. That's all it's got to be. And then this can't be an L shape. That's going to block things in. So we do have to have an S shape here, which is going to force another I shape at the top. But this can't be an I shape here. So whatever's here can't be S or T. So it has to be L, which means this has to be L. This has to be L, and then we have an I shape. Nice, that's a good one. I like that puzzle. What's over here? Let's try this one. All regions must have an area of exactly 6. Well, it looks like this one's given to us. And we have to have the exact same shape. How am I going to do this? It's two elbows stacked on each other in a weird way, or it could be seen as an L tetromino with a domino attached to the end. So I gotta find where I can stick another shape here. Like if I did this, this shape would work. Like that shape would also work as well. But after this, I don't need it to be the same shape. I only need it to be the same shape here. Right? I've got to find a way to get them all around. That's not the right shades. That would be the shape, right? This is the shape? Okay. That's the shape. Ooh, gotta watch out here. I don't think this is how it's gonna go. That's the right shape, but now I have too many here. That's the idea. So I've got to figure out some way to arrange these in place. But I don't know. How do I narrow it down without guessing? This spot has to have the same exact shape. So if I brought it out this way, this wouldn't fit because I would need to put two more pieces on this end. So it can't come out that far if it went this way. Can't come out this way. Yeah. It could come out this way. Yeah, I think this, if I set it up there, like that. Oh. This is one way. The question is how many should 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I have 9 spaces in here, so that doesn't work. How would I determine which one I have to do? I mean, this fills a nice set. Like these fill a nice set of tiles. I want to make this shape down here again. That's one way. This one probably has to bend around this kind of thing. But then how do I make a shape there? I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do in this puzzle. This just looks like a puzzle where you have to guess. This doesn't look like a puzzle where you use logic at all. How about that space? If I put something in both of these spaces, we can make this shape, which breaks the puzzle. We can make this shape, which breaks the puzzle. If I just do this, I can't. So maybe these have to be two different ones? Like that's a possible thing I could do, which would force me out. But then I can't do anything, can't make anything with that. No, if I blocked these, how do I? That's one way you can make the shape. It wouldn't be able to move that way, so it would be stuck here. If I moved this way, we would have a problem. Actually, having these, it'd be like this section here. So no matter what I do, both ends need something on it. So it would have to be one of these two ends. So I think these actually do have to be connected. But no, because what if this section isn't connected to this piece here? That's the thing. That's all we know. What if I counted the number of regions? 1, 2, 7. We got another 7, that's 14. On this side, we've got 8, it's 22. Got 33, 6, 9. We've got 12 here, which is 51, 54. So we put 9 more regions in. That's really not helpful at all. Because the only times I have to make the shape are when I'm attached to this thing in the center. Everything else can be whatever shape I want. That's 2. Hold on. If I go this way, I have to. So this is a double. Like, this fits really nicely. It's just, I'm not sure how true that is. That fits alright. That fits alright, but now we just have this issue. Like, what do we do here to prevent a disaster? But yeah, that's not right. Oh, this is the type of puzzle I've mentioned before I'm really not a fan of. Because, like, if you want to be like, look at how hard my puzzle is, where's the break-in? Well, now, like, it's much easier for me to guess than it is for me to logically work out what I'm supposed to do. Because it just looks like I have to take a guess at what shape goes where. There genuinely isn't a thing like this is how the puzzle progresses. It's just put it in until it works, and so I'm not gonna enjoy doing this puzzle at all. I'm not gonna feel smart for solving it. It's just gonna be a relief to get it out of my hair. Bad puzzle design right here. Where do I look? Because again, but yeah, none of these. There's no point in looking at any of this. I have to look somewhere here and figure out what shape goes where. But there's so many ways to do all the shapes. How do I make... It's more like, okay, I'm going to take a guess. This guess. Okay, if I put this shape here, this is just a transposition of the shape, moved it over. Over here, then what would I connect? That's not right. Because if I do this, well, whatever part is the 3 long has to have both sides of it connecting somewhere. So that's a way I could connect the shapes. That's a way I could connect the shapes, but how many shapes are I looking for? 12, 13. That's not a multiple of 6. So how do I get... Like, if this is correct, how would I get something in here? It would probably be like that. This doesn't work. Don't think this will be the answer. I mean, I can stick another shape here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That doesn't work. That's not enough space. Yeah, that's the only way to do that shape. So this can't be right. Like, this just can't be the shape, right? Is there any other way I could do this shape here? I made this. That's not right. This is the only way. So no, I don't see the answer to that. Don't see how that helps. So whatever goes here would have to be a different shape, like that maybe? Well, what goes here? That doesn't go there, does it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No. That doesn't work. I wish this one worked, but it doesn't. Can't be here because it would have to be... This is the closest I've been. This is the only way to make the shapes around if I start this way. So what piece goes here? Maybe if I block this, what can I do? Well, I can't go straight up by 3 because then I would need to move right or left from this bottom spot. So I'd have to block here, and I'd have this elbow. And then this one? No, it wouldn't work. So I think, yeah, it has to move out. All right, let's I don't know, let's block that. Let's say it's not doesn't move down. If it were to move this way, well, it's not that it doesn't move up. It's just that it has to move right. If we block it, if we move 3, we have to then bring this, and we have to do that. That would be how we'd have to do this segment. So now we would need a segment here. And it can't go into that section. It has to go here and then down, and now we're blocked. There's no other way to do this. If I move this way, yeah, it's blocked. It can't go into there because then we would need spaces down here. So this cannot be the way that this moves. If it moves this way, it can't. So if it moves to the right and it doesn't move down, it would have to move up. And then we'd be screwed. So that doesn't work. If it moves this way, it moves down. Hold on. If it moves down again, this is the space. But if it doesn't, it moves over. So I'm going to do the check progress because I genuinely despise this puzzle. I think it's bad. So there you go. And then we're going to check to see which one it is because there we go. So it is. Okay, now how do I do? This piece has to go somewhere. It's going to have to curve around this way. So it could curve around, but that's too many spaces. So I think it's got to be this. And then, so this is what we had before. Okay. I hate hatred for this. Hatred for this. It's a guessing game. It's a guessing game until you get it right. Why do people design puzzles like that? All regions must have an area of exactly 5. Okay, we got to bring this out. That's all I know. This one's got to come out. Okay, I see. There we go. This is a better break-in because it's a forced first move for one. That means this piece cannot move down because it's going to be the same as that. It's going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4. Not sure which direction we go yet, but this one's 1, 2, 3. So yeah, we have a W shape there. We have a couple options for this one. We can't block here because then we'll make another W shape, so we have to move down at least one space. So we can make an F shape or we can make an L shape, which means this is a new piece which has to move down at least one space. It could move this way, we're not sure. We've got a piece here, it's got to come out. That's as far as we got for that one. So like I could have a separate piece here. No, I can't. If I make a piece here that moves this way and it's not connected to the purple, then the purple would have to take all 5 of these spaces, leave nothing for the yellow. Therefore, this must attach to purple. So it can't move up, and it can't move that way. If it moves this way, it creates 2 F shapes. Moving this way creates 2 L shapes, so it must be the T shape, which means the yellow must be an F shape. So somebody's here, and it's the orange piece I just made. That's there. It can't be the T. It has to be the Y shape. I hope I got my logic right, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Let's see. We've got to have this come out. And if I have this corner piece be the same one, we have a Y shape. We're forced. So I have to block that. And this piece also has to be blocked. So we've got that going on. That means whatever piece is down here has got to move up. So the purple is going to come down and be an L shape. This is going to be T shape. This can't be an L shape, so it has to be a C. I think I just see the answer. No, I don't. Gotta have a piece here that does something smart. It can't move left, has to move down like this. So now we have a piece. Let's get a different color. Here. If I move here, I force a T shape, which isn't good. So this shape has to move that way. I think... then it has to be an F shape. But then now no, this doesn't work. Now I have two N shapes. Wait, what am I doing? There's no delta here. Okay, I don't have to worry about it. No delta. Okay, 5s. There's got to be... Whatever piece goes here has to extend out, right? Because there's 9 spaces in here, which means one space can fit entirely and one has to stick out exactly one. We can't have this happen because now we'd fit 2 spaces. We're just not going to work. This is exactly what it is, and then this is exactly on the other side. And we have to block that off, which means we have a 5er up here. And we have to fit an N piece? That's okay, this can't be right. Is there any other way? Right? Because there's no way an N piece can fit here. It needs 4 spaces. So I've got my logic wrong. Because if I have a piece, if I block this off, right, that doesn't work. That's 9, we need 5s. So we have to have a piece that comes through. But if we do this, if we don't block this off, if I made something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, there has to be a piece fully in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that is correct. It has to block here. It has to stop. Oh, this would just be the end piece. That's what it is. I thought the end piece had to be a different one. The other one, for some reason, just had a complete wrong idea about that. So then we just have that. That's correct. So we have a P piece there. Let's make that a different color. Then we have a V shape, which means we have to have a V shape here, and then we're done. That's more like it. 5s again. This is a W up here. That's easy. So I need a W here. This is an option. This is not an option. Creates an orphan. So this is complete. We have an N piece, or sorry, a Y piece here, which is going to force a Y here. If we have to put a Y piece here, immediately we've just blocked off a P shape. So the Y shape has to be like this, and then one of these 2 spots. We've got ourselves an S shape. This looks like the only option. Gives us another S over there. And then over here we've got ourselves a V. This causes an issue. This causes an issue. So maybe that doesn't cause an issue. And I think the problem is solved. Nice. So did we just silverize this one? That's great. Let's head back to this puzzle here. All regions must have an area of exactly 4. Okay. I'm going to start here. We have to bring this out. We could bring it one more down or one more left, not totally sure. I just know these are different regions. Same thing happens here. I can't bring this one up. Because if I bring this up, this piece is going to have to be on both sides of its border. So we have an L shape here. That means whatever piece goes here, It can only extend this far moving upward. It must extend down at least once, which means this piece here must extend down because it can't fill up at the top. So we got an L shape there as well. Got to bring this out and down. It can't move up. So now we have a piece down here. This one must be an L shape because of this issue here. This piece has a few options. It can be an L into that spot. But whatever the case, this piece now must move up and not move left. So this is an L. This is also an L. That forces an L here, forces an L there, and then the puzzle's done. That one's pretty good. Something there? Cool. Precision 3. There's only 2 possible shapes for a 3. There's a straight line and an elbow. Are there any places I can force one or the other? This is strange. I have the same set. This spot, I'm not sure. This spot has to come out that far. This is fine. This is also fine. Can I do something like this? It's fine. I mean, it doesn't have to be this way. Like, it just has to be... Well, actually, yeah. If this piece moved down, this piece... We could also do this. Like, this is totally fine. This piece here has to move to the right at least once. Because it can't... no, it doesn't have to. It can do this. This. Alright, whatever goes here can't be... This has to be an elbow piece right here. In this corner. I think all these corners do. So I think this is forced, right? Yeah, because if it's a tetromino, or if it's a triomino, we create an orphan cell no matter what. So we have the elbow pieces here. So is this the elbow? This can't be the elbow. It can be here or here. But either way, these are all part of the same thing. So I know that this can't be, and then this must be. Now this elbow must not connect here, because we need an elbow piece here, right? No, I guess I've mistaken on the logic on that. Because, like, I could always just bring it out. This wouldn't be a problem. But... Well, I'd have to do it different every time. Because if I do this, for instance, we have a triomino up here that we can't repeat, so I wouldn't be able to do this down here. All I know is that's an elbow. How about this? This elbow can't happen. If this elbow happens, I need to have a triomino here, which is going to put one there. It's going to put an elbow here, and that's your elbow. So this piece cannot extend down that way. Could it extend like this? We'd get another triomino here in both those spots, which is fine. It could go here, or it could go down there. We don't really know. Could it be this way? This doesn't seem to cause many problems. We would have to do this. We would have to bring... this would break the puzzle. Because we can't bring this down, and we can't bring it all the way across. So I know that it is not this. We either have that or this. Let's try this one. I don't like that, because here and there don't share any cells in common. I didn't narrow anything down. If I try this, will it break the puzzle? Well, we'd have to have that, which would mean that we'd need elbows here, there, and there. So this couldn't be the elbow. So these two would have to block. We'd have to have that. We'd have to have... now I can't get this to be done. So I think that does break the puzzle. I think that's how we're supposed to figure it out. So I think we have to go forward with this in mind. Here could be an elbow. or not. So this would force an elbow up top. This would force that. This has to be part of a triomino. This can't be part of an elbow. So that makes this an elbow, which would force triomino here and there. And there? Or, no, it has to be, both of these have to be, so yes. This seems to work fine so far. I've got to have triangle there, which means this is elbow. So now these are together. This is elbow. Yeah, I think this actually is it. This is it. Not my favorite puzzle, but it's fine, I guess. Okay, simple one. Precision of 3. Delta, Gemini. Okay. Let's look in this corner. We can't have any triomino down here. It's not going to happen. Anything would cause a domino to happen. So we need an elbow, and it needs to be that shape. Exactly. No other shape works. So we have to have an elbow here, but we have to have a triomino there. Here we've got to have an elbow thing going on. I think the only way to do it is that. Then we have to have this. Can't move upward. That's forced. What do we got going on? We have to have a triomino here, and it's got to go that way. That way. Elbow land. Elbow land, and I think we're done. Neat. That's basically the puzzle I just did, but easier. Precision of 3. That's all I got to worry about. Okay, well I know we have some pieces that extend outward. There's also got to be somebody here. So that solves both of these pieces for us. That one's done. Let's see. This is going to come out. This is going to come out. Here, let's see what goes there. Can I glean anything more from this? Oh, yes, I can. We cannot have an elbow piece here, because then this is a triomino. We don't have space, so we do have to bring this around. Now, the blue does have to move down. That is going to force another set there. Elbow land. I think that's that. And I think we've got this puzzle solved too. Well done. What else do we have? I'm going to save some of the super high puzzle levels just because it's already been almost 40 minutes. I'm going to do one more puzzle and then I think I'll call the video there. Just keep things reasonably timed. Okay, we got 3s again. I could have the same shape here because just have to block that. It's fine. Don't really have an obvious start. I know there's got to be tetromino down, or sorry, triomino down here. So it's going to, no, see, we can do it that way. They can be separate. Well, if they're separate, who gives a crap, right? It's just that both of these are going to contain triomino because they can't contain elbow, whatever the case is. So that means this must contain triomino without this one containing it. So we have to do this. That is required. This must be an elbow, which makes it go to that set. I could put an elbow here, or I could put a triomino here, I think, just fine. No, this doesn't work, because now we have an orphan cell there. So we do have to put an elbow here. Now this could be an elbow, and then we would need to put an elbow there. So no, this must be... nope, because now I've broken the puzzle again. This doesn't work. Is there another way to do the elbows here? There's got to be another way to do elbows. Is it... Oh, it's this way. This is the only way to do it. So yeah, that's it. Okay, was a so-so puzzle, but that's okay. We'll end there. What's this one? A 5? It's not too bad. We've got this up to silver. Next video, I'm going to try to get this up to gold. I think I can do it in the next one. Maybe even to the jewel point. I don't know how long I've got. We'll give that a try. Hey, found one down there. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Artisan of Glimmith, etc., etc. I should probably get myself a script to end videos with so I can be a real YouTuber. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye.